we have a brilliant lineup of speakers, panelists coming over the stage. Please join and help me welcome Mr. Rajesh Chandran, Chairman, Elements Wellness, India Shopping. Very, very warm welcome to you. We are very pleased to have you here. Joining us, we have Dr. Upasana Arora, Managing Director, Yashoda Group of Hospitals. Very, very warm welcome. I'm very, very pleased to have you here joining us today. Now, please put your hands together for Commander Navneet Wali, Executive Director and CEO, joining us here, Clear Medi Healthcare. Very, very honored, sir, to have you here with us. And now moving on and calling somebody who absolutely needs no introduction. We all know and follow her. Please give a big hand for Dr. Tanaya Narendra, multi-award-winning sexual health doctor, best-selling author, content creator. We all follow her. We have seen her content. Very, very happy and glad to welcome you here. And to moderate this conversation, we have Kantisha, Chief Editor, ET Edge, joining us here. Please give a big hand. Wellness today is economic strategy, healthcare redesign, and global positioning. All at once. Let's begin.
Thank you very much for that brilliant introduction. Thank you all eminent panelists for joining us on this one. And if there's any sway that's real in the world, it's this panel. You're seeing that the women are outnumbering the men on this one. So I'm very happy. The scales are tilting, and we're getting ahead where we need to. Well, that was on a lighter note, but let's begin this panel discussion on a reality check. And at that, like just has been spoken, we're seeing that the global wellness economy is now worth over $5.6 trillion. That's bigger than pharma. That's bigger than sports. And bigger than, the fast-growing GDP numbers that we're seeing. India's share in this, now that's where we're questioning ourselves, is a $100 to $170 billion of that $5.6 trillion. Just putting things in perspective. We are the birthplace of Ayurveda, undisputedly. We are the pharmacy of the world. We supply vaccines to over 150 countries. And yet, when it comes to premium wellness brands, global nutraceutical giants, predictive health platforms, we are still not setting the rules. And that's where the sway has to begin. So here are some uncomfortable questions. Is India going to lead this market? We'll see that. Or once again, will we quietly become a soft spot in this space? Well, I'm sure that we don't want to have that place. So let's delve into this and decode how exactly we get that position for India in this entire lovely scheme of things that are unfolding on a global stage. And that's what conversations at the Global Business Summit ensure. So let's begin with the first question that I have for my eminent panelists right here. Rajesh, I'd like to begin with you. And my first question that I'd like to bring to you is from a brand and experience point of view. What exactly do you think must India do to build globally aspirational wellness brands, not just products that command pricing over loyalty?
Kanchi, I always believe quality and consistency works, right? When we talk about quality, that's the acceptance across. They are not bothered about the pricing. Customers are generally not bothered about what price they get at. When it comes to wellness and health, they want, if the treatment is good, if I'm healthier, I can make more wealth, right? That's what the thought is. So India is now exporting to the world the Ayurveda, which is there from past ages with us. But it was not being explored in between. Right now, with science being backed to the Ayurveda, it has been exporting to the world. If you will be wondered that more than 25% of our produce is being sent to US. That market is accepting because the trust, the quality, the results are such that everywhere it is being accepted. if we can make a better quality product, it will be surely accepted worldwide. For example, my own company, Element Wellness, we've been having 60 plus SKUs of Ayurvedic products. The retention rate is more than 70%. People do come and buy again and again because it's not only for cure, but it also is for prevention. So prevention is better than cure. People understand, and that's how the quality we are maintaining continuously, and that quality will only make India to go global.
Well, I concur. We've always heard that prevention is better than cure. So let's take a stab at this, Dr. Pasna, if I may, bring the next question to you. How do preventive healthcare, personalized medicine, and wellness truly converge today to develop a high-scale, hospital ecosystem in India?
First of all, thank you so much for inviting me here. And why I am the right person? Because I am heading medical value travel in India in different forums. So, India is a place where all countries wants to come because we are providing holistic healing. And even nowadays, it's mandatory also that any hospital who is providing medical value travel and patients are coming from different countries, hospital has to have that integrated care. We have to have Ayurveda and other, whatever you want to start, Siddha, Unani, homeopathy. And if you talk about wellness, so I just want to tell you, we are always, I'm part of FICCI, so we are doing a big program on Advantage Health. And I am chairperson for SEPC. So we are always organizing a program called Sanjeevani. But this year, we are not only focusing only on this modern science, because Indian doctors are the best and we are having very good hospitals. But same time, we are focusing more on wellness. And we are having partnership with wellness centers. Reason behind this, young generation is already keeping on track of their health in different forms. Everybody is now very much aware about healthy lifestyle, healthy food, what to eat, what not to eat, and everyone is doing some or other kind of exercise. So now it's a kind of place, I am talking about right now India. Every country is having this, but if you see our young generation, they are already taking care of their health and they want to do prevention. As our time, we were having lots of sweets and getting sugar and then going to doctor. But now they don't want, they are not even giving to their young children. And one more thing I just want to share with you. I met one Russian lady, Elena. I am part of BRICS. So she came from Russia and she narrated her story to me that she was so unwell in Russia and she tried every kind of treatment. Then she came to Kerala for our Ayurveda. And after that, she is perfectly fine. So I was feeling so proud and like that I was giving her treatment. So this is the power of India, and everyone is talking about now illness to wellness and preventive health. Yeah, thank you.
Well, that's the kind of motto line, that you've just put forward, from illness to wellness, and how you exactly evolve on that line. Fantastic. Thank you very much, Dr. Upasana. Commander Bali, if I come to you next, if preventive wellness must reach tier 2, tier 3 cities, what operating models work? And how exactly do we develop AI-integrated hubs?
Thank you so much. Such an honor to be here. It's a very dangerous session after lunch. But lovely to see so many people awake and listening keenly. And also to take your point of women, lovely ladies on the stage, I think what better way to spend a Valentine's Day but to be surrounded by 3 of you. So, so I think we are in good space there. So lovely. Thank you so much. I had promised myself that I will keep the audience awake, and today I'm going to tell something which will extremely, extremely make you proud to be Indians. This is a global summit, so let's talk about it. So let's say there is a gentleman sitting in a remote village in Nagaland or Ladakh or somewhere in Kerala or somewhere in Rajasthan, just has some access and he can't even type on this one, but his son or somebody has a smartphone. And he knows that some hospital, some doctor does something the best in the country, all right? So, but he is not aware, somebody told him. So imagine he picks up the phone and he starts speaking to an agent on that website or on that app in the phone, and he asks questions like this, that मेरे को ये बीमारी है, in Tamil or in whatever language, in vernacular, and I've heard that this hospital, this doctor does it fine. Tell me about it. So agent tells everything about it. Then he asks, कितना दिन लगेगा उस treatment में? पैसे कितने लगेंगे? How do I go from my village to that place? By train, by aircraft. वहाँ जाके रहना कैसे होगा? क्या मेरा आयुष्मान भारत कार्ड वहाँ पे चलता है? All these questions are being answered by an agent sitting on the other side of the phone to a gentleman who's sitting in extreme remote area. What better way to democratize healthcare? So this is fine. Now every one of us talks about AI. I think this has become a buzzword everywhere. But truly, is something really happening? So I requested the gentleman, so every one of you has a phone, just open Google on your phone, please. आप भी एक बार Google अगर दिखा सकते हैं तो. I mean, just type in Google, and this will make you extremely proud. Which company has launched the world's first agentic healthcare chain globally? Which company has launched the world's first agentic healthcare chain globally? What I wanted to tell you was, the answer would be, have you searched it?
Do you have the results?
Which company has launched the world's first agentic healthcare chain globally? And which country does this company belong to? Anyway, when you Google it, the answer is going to be Clear Medi Healthcare, and this company belongs to India. So you are the global first today, on 1st January of this year. Clear Medi Healthcare, with one youngster from IIT Mandi, a startup in the country, launched the world's first agentic healthcare chain. It's not China, it's not USA, it's an Indian company. So we're talking about soft power, we're talking about global. I mean, here we are at the cutting edge of technology, globally launching the first agentic healthcare chain. What it means is, when we talk about wellness, when we talk about health, now Indians sitting in any corner of the world, because the agents here speak all languages, and that's where we are going to build it up to. Not only the Indian languages, what we're going to do it further is that these agents will be able to talk in German, in French, in Swahili, so that, as Upasana ma'am was talking about, patients all across the globe have to just talk in their language. They don't have to talk about it, and this is the power of AI. So to answer your question, it's very, very simple. With 1.4 billion people, 140 crore Indians, the healthcare problems are not going to be sorted out in the normal, traditional ways at all. They will require AI, and AI which is not being just talked about in conferences and in boardrooms, but you have the courage and the conviction and the cooperation, because healthcare companies are not tech companies. I'm a hospital runner. I have 8 hospitals across India, and we treat tribals of Gujarat, Rajasthan, etc. on oncology and cancer, so I'm not the one who's going to do it. A young startup, and Indians today are at that level when we can build beautiful models, and these are the models which are going to solve our problem both of wellness and of prevention, and so that we do not have to waste resources on diseases in the country, where we want to allocate them to many other things. So let's be proud that an Indian company is the global first, along with a startup of a youngster, has launched a first agentic healthcare chain in the world. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Well, yes, that is an applause-worthy moment. And yeah, like you pointed out, Commander Bali, it's all about access and scale, because India is not just Mumbai, Delhi, Bangalore, Kolkata, Hyderabad, but it's the 700 and plus districts across the entire country where this access and the kind of scale that you mentioned is required. Thank you for outlining it so beautifully. Tanaya, if I may come to you next with the question. How do you mainstream science-backed awareness, especially in sexual health, reproductive literacy, and mental well-being, become mainstream without the stigma or the misinformation?
Thank you so much for having me here. Is this on? Okay. Thanks so much for having me here. The thing is, sexual wellness is a component of everybody's life. All of us in the world are here as a result of sex, even with IVF. Yet we continue to kind of keep very hush-hush about it. And the thing is, there's a lot of curiosity in people about it. There is a very high degree of intrigue around a very simple thing, simply because we've made it taboo and there's so much stigma associated with it. When I started content creation and I started educating about sexual health and women's health and menstrual health, I had not anticipated the sort of response that it eventually garnered. Like, I have close to 3 million followers just talking about sex, sexual health, which is something very, very astounding when I started it, because it has been so heavily stigmatized. And the key thing that I learned from doing all of the content and all of the work that I've done is that, number one, we have to name the devil. We have to talk about these issues that have been shrouded in stigma for so long. Mental health is having a moment right now. Historically, we have not talked about people coming out and talking about having ADHD or having depression. And now more and more people are coming up and discussing their experience with their mental health journey. More and more people are coming and discussing psychosexual issues. I have a lot of patients that I work with who deal with conditions like vaginismus, which is a psychosexual issue. So there is a lot of bravery that is there in coming out and acknowledging these issues now, with more and more people coming and talking about their own experiences. And as long as we stay in that same almost wave that's come in, I think it can be a really groundbreaking moment in revolutionizing healthcare and revolutionizing access to historically stigmatized issues. The best thing that I have learned in doing content and trying to talk about these issues is using humor as a tool. And I think as doctors, and I think as policymakers, and I think as healthcare people, we kind of shy away from it, because there's a very fine line between making things entertaining and humorous versus actually losing credibility. So that fine line, if we can all kind of maybe get more media training for doctors and policy people and healthcare individuals, I think we may have the right pathway to crack the code of something that needs a lot more attention than it's historically got.
Well, I kind of agree with that, Tanaya, but here's a, second to that, and I'd like to ask you today, and first to the audience, and then I'll come back to you with a counter on this one. If I may get an answer from the room, who's the first doctor you see when something happens? Who's the first doctor that you would go to when something happens, when you have symptoms?
When you have a headache.
Symptoms. Sorry? Family doctor? Mom? Any other answers in the room? Because I have a very brilliant answer. And when I say that, I'm going to have 100% agreement in the room. Google. Dr. Google. That's where most of us go first. So the dichotomy of things here, and Tanay, I'd like to bring this to you because you're a content creator in this space. Who drives trust today? Doctors or digital content creators?
I'm so glad you asked me that question, because that is a very, very pertinent question in today's day and age. My mother, who is a gynecologist, has been advocating tirelessly for HPV education and getting more people vaccinated against HPV. Maybe 40, okay, the vaccine is not that old, maybe 10, 15 years worth of work. She was not able to change as many minds as a couple of reels that myself and a couple of other doctor friends were able to do, to the extent that now HPV vaccine is a conversation that most people have at least vaguely heard of, if not actively gotten vaccinated. This is a huge moment in how people are trusting media and how people are distrusting traditional healthcare. We have to be, it's very unfortunate that I have to say this, but we have to be cognizant of the kind of mistrust in healthcare that has come after how the pandemic was mismanaged globally on a policy level. In India, we did wonderful things, and I'm very proud to be a part of the fraternity that really stood tirelessly working towards making people's lives better and protecting more people. But unfortunately, with how the policy level things worked and how American healthcare impacts the rest of the world, there is a very big mistrust in traditional healthcare right now. And we are seeing that. I am seeing that in my DMs and my emails every single day. And maybe this is where AI can come and be that bridge, because it's high time we recognize that people are trusting the internet and content creators way more than they are trusting their doctor. And when any of my patients come to me and they tell me, oh, मैं Google पे पढ़ के आई हूँ ये, instead of panicking, I try to take that in a positive way, because that means that they're very invested in their healthcare. And I think it's better to acknowledge reality, which is that वो पढ़ के आई होंगे, which curiosity gets the better of us, and everybody wants to know what's happening with us. Everybody wants to know what's wrong and what are the options that are available. So we're standing at this change in how healthcare and science is perceived by people, and we should acknowledge that.
Well, thank you. Thank you. Quite fantastic thoughts there. I'm now going to come to the panel entirely, and this is a yes or no question, and we'll get into the details of this in the next part, in the next round. So the yes or no question, and let's begin with you, Dr. Pasna. Can India become a wellness superpower without becoming a prevention-first society? Yes?
Definitely, yes.
Dr. Bali? Rajeshji? Surely? Tanya? Now that I have consensus from the panel, my question, and let's bring it to you, Commander Bali, first. Wellness sounds aspirational, but healthcare is capital intensive and margin sensitive at that. What structural shifts are needed to make preventive wellness commercially viable at scale, not just for urban premium consumption?
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant question. And, many times when I talk in such conferences, I tell people just take your car on a Sunday morning and drive for 1 hour, any direction from a metro city. And that's where we need to really, really think about healthcare. Most of our discussions and most of the times what we think about are structured around metro cities and bigger cities. That is not where healthcare is. You really need to think beyond that. So let me give you a very, something which is actually happening on ground and not talking. So the last thing that I spoke about being an agentic healthcare, it's actually now happening. It's been. So let's talk about preventive oncology, because I'll just take one subset of prevention, because I think cancer is one of the biggest pandemics, epidemics, which is now facing India. Most of our patients reach hospitals in 4th and 5th stage. Mortality is almost 50 to 60% in India, which is 2 to 3%, let's say, in a country like France. I was in Paris 10 days back. I went to a beautiful hospital called Gustave Roussy. Cancer has become like a normal thing because they come with, at first or second stage, they get treated and then they go back. It's almost like any other disease. So let's talk about preventive oncology, and then I will come to two important pertinent points. One is policy. Second is about structural change. In India, whatever you might say, we are extremely price sensitive and we do not have the money to waste on diseases, okay? It's a grudge payment, whether you are, whatever your economic strata is, when you have to pay to a hospital, it's a grudge payment. You don't want to do that. You would rather go and buy a car or go into a restaurant and do whatever you want to do. So how do we tackle this issue? So there was Clear Medi Healthcare deals with tribals in many areas in India, basically in oncology. There was a company, an Israeli guy whom I met. And just to cut the long story short, he wanted to start an AI-based diagnostic preventive oncology center where dogs are used to detect cancer. Dogs, because dogs have a very fine smelling capability, and this guy was an Israeli army guy who used to have the dog squad, and as you know, Israelis use their dogs in very big way. They prevent almost 80% of their casualties in war. So all the talks went on. 5 years back this was happening, and as we speak in Bangalore, we built a kennel which has got 12 dogs today, and most of them are Indian mongrels, that is the street side dogs, where we found that their sense of smell was fantastic. They didn't need much care at all. Now these 12 dogs, what we do is now how it is done, let's say you go to a village, and in a village you gather the population around you, tell everyone to wear a mask. So how much does a mask actually cost? Not more than 5 paisa or 20 paisa. Truly speaking, the cost of production is extremely low. Everyone wears a mask. These masks are then brought back to the kennel, and these dogs smell these masks. And depending on their EEG waves, their retinal scans, their expressions, their whatever it is, there are the computers who are reading them. There's a small helmet we put on top of their dogs. And these are all, by the way, PETA and all policy makers have given the clearances, so we are not being cruel to the dogs if someone has that point. And then this is read by the system, and using AI, the prediction happens whether there is even the smallest chance of cancer developing. Imagine what we have done. We've cut down the cost completely. Nobody needs to pay at all for this at all because the mask costs nothing. The hospitals can very well absorb it in their budgets. So for India, a cost-effective solution for prevention, which is done on a mass scale, is the right structure to believe in. That's going to happen. It'll take some time. Compare this with a test which is, let's say a blood test is taken, and that blood test measures a protein which is pre-cancerous and tells you cancer 10 साल के बाद होने वाला है या नहीं होने वाला. It costs $25,000. If in this room today that company were to come and ask you to give your blood, you won't give it because of the fear of finding out. You would say, why do I need to know कि 10 साल बाद मुझे cancer हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है? So you will not do it. So structurally, this is one. Second, about policy. Now, as I said, 140 crore of us, healthcare in the traditional way is just not going to solve our problem. So why not every Indian, and most of us now have some panel, most of the Indians living in these places have a Ayushman Bharat card. Once in a year, one preventive checkup is a must for you. It could be along with your driving license, it could be along with your ration card, it could be along with your Ayushman Bharat card, it could be along with whatever it is, but every one of us does one preventive checkup. By the way, I run hospitals across country. Just a simple preventive health checkup costs me nothing more than $400 today. It's not 1,000, it's not 2,000, it's not 5,000. It's not that executive health checkup, it takes you 5,000 rupees. It just costs you 400 rupees. Cost-wise, even lower, maybe if I do it on a much bigger scale. So two things. Cost-effective, large-scale prevention models. Second, the power of policy making at government. These are the two methods which I feel are going to structurally change using technology, where we actually want to go on prevention. Thank you.
I would like to add upon this when you spoke about affordability of products to the end consumer. At Element Wellness, what we do is like, we produce the product and we have a 5 lakh plus wellness experts being placed across India. We time to time give them training on how these products work and how these can be told and sold to your friends and relatives, how they can have a preventive health care. Unlike other companies where celebrities do endorse about the product, I'm not talking about Abhishek Bachchan, Sachin Tendulkar, it's a cost-effective way. So we found a very cost-effective way through which we train these people on a regular basis and tell them the effects of the product and the results of the product. And that's how we are visioning a greater, healthier India for future. Now, this guy directly takes from the manufacturer and give it to the end consumer, avoiding all in-between costs, and that's how affordability reaches everywhere.
Fantastic. Well, moving forward to the next question after that assertion, Dr. Pasna. If AI can predict illness before symptoms appear, what does an AI-first wellness stack for India look like?
First of all, now Indian healthcare is using lots of, I should not say Indian healthcare. All healthcare is using lots of AI. If you go for diagnostic, half of the things people are using AI in radiology, even in OPD. Lots of people are even approaching me and they want, but we are using few things, and I think AI can predict any kind of thing when that particular thing has lots of data. Data is always required to predict anything. That is why we are using Da Vinci robot, because Da Vinci robot is the oldest one and they have lots of data. So I think when we will use more AI and there will be more data with AI, then they can predict correctly. Right now, lots of people are, Googling things, and I don't think every content is right. If you go with that, I was suffering from something, and I was having some tablet. So I also Googled, and after reading that, I was feeling like कि मैं तो अभी मर जाऊंगी, 2 घंटे भी नहीं लगेंगे. I called my doctor. He said, don't Google it. So this is my request to all of you. Kindly go to a proper doctor, degree holder. Don't go to Google Baba. They are all the time telling you side effect of everything. Even paracetamol, they will tell you that it is going to be cancerous or something like that. So AI will take place, but still I believe that when we will have lots of data, we can use AI in healthcare for many other things, like we are using for patient history, then history is going to doctor, and lots of other things. But prediction is a very important thing. If wrong prediction, you can get wrong treatment, and then your life is going to finish. So I am not in hurry, and I think nobody should be in hurry to go for AI. There could be an error, but definitely lots of things are happening in AI, and we can use other things like telemedicine, this and that, but not totally depend on AI. Thank you.
Of course. At that rate, I would like to second Dr. Upasana that just nobody's in a hurry, because as the Gen Zs would say, YOLO, you live only once. Well, having said that, and moving forward in the conversation, Rajeshi, I'd like to bring this to you. There are certain determinants of a global premium brand. Can a made in India brand command luxury trust across the globe?
100%. I'll tell you a story. One widow woman, she went to an Ayurvedic shop for some sort of a treatment. She took the products, she got cured, she got very, very confident on that. But the way it was packaged, it was very shabbily packaged. She thought, why not we give this same treatment to the world in a better way with a better packaging? And that's what Forest Essentials is today. So Indian products, Indian brands has the potential to market it. IT has shown to India, to the world, that Indians can produce the best IT. Pharma industry has grown. India has become a wellness capital now, right? If products can be manufactured at scale, India is a consumer-driven. There are huge consumption about all the FMCG and every other product. If the products are marketed well, and if the packaging has been done well, we see a lot of Switzerland brands, Korean brands, they're all growing. They are charging 5 times, 10 times the pricing. They work on those margins, but India में तो सस्ते में चाहिए सब कुछ, right? I always say, मेरा एक छोटा सा thesis है, it's called 6th पानीपुरी principle. Like हम उस देश के वासी हैं जिस देश में 20 रुपए में हम 5 पानीपुरी के हकदार हैं, but जब तक अपने को 6th पानीपुरी एक्स्ट्रा नहीं देता है ना, तब तक अपने को 5 पानीपुरी का satisfaction नहीं मिलता है. It's always like that कि हम कुछ एक्स्ट्रा देते हैं. हम जब कुछ प्रोडक्ट के साथ समथिंग एक्स्ट्रा देते हैं तो एक्सेप्टेबिलिटी आता है. इंडियंस आर नोन फॉर ट्रस्ट, फॉर क्वालिटी, एंड दैट्स हाउ द होल वर्ल्ड इज एक्सेप्टिंग टुडे. And with leaders like Modi ji and governments like India, what it is doing, we are way forward than that. Matlab, I am telling you that 10 trillion economy which government is thinking is a very, very easy task to go about, and we are going to achieve it maybe wealthier way, nahi to healthier way se. Thank you.
Well, I absolutely concur. And if you may have noticed, at least I have seen this, that आपका पानीपुरी एग्जाम्पल में एक बहुत बड़ा शिफ्ट आ रहा है. As an upsell, Panipuri walas are offering a whole plate of sukha puris, the 6th puri, for a premium. So that's where it's headed. And that's where the global command comes in from. So thank you very much for outlining it. Well, moving forward to the next question. When we're speaking about all of this, there is a whole angle that cultural diplomacy plays in the entire aspect. So to the entire panel, and I'm going to go one by one. Can wellness become India's soft power export, combining Ayurveda, healing, science, spirituality, and technology? Dr. Upasana, then I'll come to you, Tanaya, and then we'll move to the men.
Rather, I should say it is already a soft power in the word. So we can't say that can. It's already, because everyone is looking at India right now for all these things which you are describing, Ayurveda, healing and all. So I am 100% sure that we are going to make it more big scale, and everyone will be just saying India is Vishwaguru.
I agree. I think it's already a very big soft power because if you think of what is the most popular exercise in the West and has been for the past 20 years, it's yoga. It is our cultural export that has gone out. What's trending on TikTok wellness right now is oil pulling, which is an Ayurvedic way of cleaning your teeth. Neti pots they sell for like $50 in the US, which is doing, cleaning the sinuses. So we're already there. I think it's up to us to capitalize on this moment and actually get the benefits to India as opposed to going to the West who are just co-opting our practices.
Totally concur there, Tanya.
India is already a very soft, peace-loving country, and the way she told about yoga is being exported, not because it's very trendy, not because it's very inexpensive, but the results are real good. That confidence level, that softness is always there for India across the world. We never go and fight with any of those countries. We are always peace-loving, and we are Atithi Devo Bhava. We welcome all. That's how we are known to the world, and 100% the softness of India is going to grow, and that will be a very, very positive thing for the world to see in India.
Thank you. Commander Bali?
On 21st of Jan this year, in Paris, the G7 countries and presidency of G7 is going to be taken up by France, invited a company, ClearMedi Healthcare, where I was there, where we developed this agentic healthcare system with a young startup from a company called HeyDoc.ai. And the G7 wanted them and their policy on AI to be formulated by some discussions, some deliberations, some ideas that we gave them, so you can understand that where does India stand. We are already at that level where, and by the way, France is the startup capital of the world. In the Station F right next to this conference center, there are 1,000 startups at single location that they have, and they had to call us to do so. So you can understand where we stand. We have to really recognize our place in the world now. I think the time has come. It's been for long that we have been waiting for this. This is our era. Next 25 to 30 years are extremely, extremely important and critical for us because we have the demographic dividend of a young population. After that, it flips over for us. And so I think with the right policies, the right government, the right talent in the private sector, our youngsters in our institutions, we've got a very open mind. I think we are rightly positioned to already capture that very, very important sector that it belongs to us now. Thank you.
Quite fantastic. Some brilliant thoughts from the panel here. So yes, India is progressing to become the soft power, exporting a lot. We're seeing that already happening, right? There's the exports that are happening. There's medical tourism, which is one of the tenets. We're also engaging in spiritual tourism, which is one aspect of wellness. Like you pointed out, Tanya, a lot of Indian habits, age-old traditional outcomes that we've been seeing over the years are becoming, trends in the West, like they call it. One of the latest trends in the wellness fraternity is sensory eating. We've been doing that all our lives. We eat with our hands, but the West is doing it now and calling it sensory eating. So cutlery goes out of the window. Like you pointed out, Dr. Upasana, that yes, while the world looks at us as a cost-effective economy where they can come and get their healthcare concerns satiated, but we're still moving at a rapid pace to become the soft power across the globe. And over the next couple of years, I see that we will achieve that dream that we're all set out as practitioners, as clinicians, as wellness advocates, and as influencers. Thank you very much, everybody, for that amazing conversation. Couldn't have asked for a better one right after lunch.
Can I just add one?
Yes, please.
As a live example of our Indian tradition, in my hospital, I am used to play Om from many years. And I am using this Kapoor in my hospital because we know that Kapoor is, negative energy he is replacing. And I am telling you, I am dealing with lots of foreign patients. Everybody says they are coming from different countries, they are following different religion, they will not like your idea of Om. They are so happy and they are telling me, this voice is very relaxing. We feel so comfortable after listening this. So this is the power of our ancient things that I wanted to tell.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we've seen in India that as our food becomes superfood in the West, it gets a lot more expensive. Let's hope that that doesn't happen to a lot of other things behind us for Indians, but let's command that for the globe and make it expensive for them. Thank you. Thank
You
you.
should have a kafa latte, turmeric.
Yes, a turmeric latte. Of course, that and a lot of other things. Thank you very much, panelists. May I request all of you to please give them a huge round of applause for those lovely gems of wisdom that we've been able to uncover with this conversation.